Welcome to the channel, Scott's Garage HTX. Do not forget the HTX. And look what I did today. Little wall clock art project. Now I can lay on the couch, watch TV, and check out the time. I know what you're thinking. Scott, you can look at your phone and see the time. You can look at your watch and see the time. I usually take my watch off when I walk in the door, and it's a lot of effort to pick up the phone and look at the time. I'm a lazy person. Don't knock that. You think a go-getter invented one of these? No. Lazy person invented one of those. If you follow the channel for any length of time, you know I like little projects like this. I took 4 years of art during school, not because I was going to make any money at it. That's not what I majored in. It's just I like art, and I was interested in it, so I just kind of did it. It was fun to do. This actually took a little bit of time to do, quite honestly. A little bit of thought and effort into it. So let's go back in time, and I'll show you how I did it. Putting the cars in 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, all the way around the clock is kind of involved. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, not so hard. You just really, pick a center where you want the clock to be and then measure out how many inches or centimeters you want, 9 o'clock to be, 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock to be. I picked 17 centimeters. And now you can get into all kinds of business about, acute right angles and everything like that, and all those formulas and trigonometry or geometry or whatever it is. But just make life easier on yourself and get a protractor and measure out, because 12 o'clock and 9 o'clock are a right angle. Measure out 30 for 10 o'clock and 60 degrees for 11 o'clock. That should get you where you want your cars, respectively, in between the top and bottom of the hours and quarter and 45 minutes after the hour. And what that leaves me with is basically the configuration of the clock. Leads me to moving on to the clock mechanism. I've already, of course, found where center was, where the dials are going to be in the center, and where this bracket will be mounted on the wall. But I don't want this ugly little clock to be showing with the hands. So what I got was a plexiglass disc. Found the center of that. I will put that around the clock like so, then the hands on it, of course, but I will paint this the same color as the wall. You can tell by the change of clothes that it's the next day. The shop's been really busy. We're growing and expanding, and I put a lot of effort into that expansion rather than doing videos. Sorry, but that's a different story. We can cover that later. You would think that the most involved, or what I thought about the most here, was how to make the arrangement on the wall and those measurements. And that did take some time and some effort and thought. But what I've been thinking about most is how I'm going to attach the cars to the wall. These cars come on a little podium. They're screwed on. This one's damaged, so it's easier to handle this one. And I think it would be more aesthetically pleasing to have the wall covered with just the cars, not on the podium. Just put the cars up against the wall. I think you could devise some kind of system, take these screws out, devise some kind of like another smaller platform, put the screws back in and attach it to the wall, or screw it to the wall, somehow get them secured to the wall. I don't know how secure it would be, but I also don't want to put a bunch of holes in my wall. So what I think I'm going to do is just the most convenient route is, I don't think it's the most aesthetically pleasing, but probably the easiest, and use Velcro strips. I've used that before in past projects. It works just fine. These cars, it took me 3 months to get all of these cars. Some of the websites listed them in stock, but they really weren't in stock. After like a couple months, I'm like, hey, where's the cars? They replied, oh, we're having supplier issues. So that kind of confuses me because you said they were in stock. Well, it didn't really confuse me. It was just a lie. You know how websites can do that. Every one of these cars has a number on them, and of course it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, so on. I thought that was kind of neat to do it that way rather than just random cars. So it took a while to find all the cars and their numbers respectively. It took 3 websites. The other website I used was great. They said it was in stock. I got them 2 weeks later. A little bit of tariff attached to it, but I'm not worried about that. I don't think those are a big deal. I guess we'll just start putting these on. I'm going to start by putting up the 12, 6, 3, and 9. We're back. How do you think I did? Put some comments down there. Now, you don't need to spend this kind of money on a clock. Say you've got a kid's room, and it's a real neat idea to do in your little boys or girls room for a clock. Well, the clock costs $12, the disc costs $6, and you can get Hot Wheels for $1.18 at Kroger's. And you could probably epoxy those to the wall. So it would be a cheap project that you could do, maybe even fun with one of your kids or something like that. Just idea. You guys keep on keeping on. We'll catch you next time.